The slavery and technological, Ted Kaczynski's disgustingness, killing people in colleges and universities and other places with bombs, with nails, similar to the anarchists and the violent rioters and overthrowing, defunding police anarchists who are Antifa loving Black Lives Matter activists, and their van where they stored all of these materials to blow stuff up. Similar to the ISIS and the people the United States military tried to stop in Iraq and Afghanistan when they blew up the World Trade Center in 2001 on September 11th. People who say jihad, Allah and Sharia law, who demand their thoughts and their thinking and no other dissidents. And all of these people in these big houses and pretty bright apartments with colorful walls in a place like Seattle or California or Portland, out east towards Boston and Massachusetts and New York City, vote for this cause now I'm describing. To prevent their destruction and their demise and their work being identified as the problem now. Their work as a citizen of the United States of America. Their work as a person on the planet called Earth in a world with identifiable parts like NATO. With all of the power in the universe at their disposal. Now, they're in charge of all of the stimulation. And the tribalism they're emphasizing would no longer be optional with their gift to the world gone and non-existent. And nobody says, why are you all in charge of technology? How did you get to your college? Where did your family live? How did you fund your degree? And what have you done with your hands your whole life other than chirk on the object you have written with the letters Keyboard? And most importantly, why can't the people you say you're going to make more free and less abused do the same task, do the same choice? Those poor and suffering Black people and all of them communities you want to build more and give so much to, who aren't being taught the practice and the training of making a circuit for an iPhone an artificial intelligence algorithm for Google, a streaming service for your shitty, horrible, independent Hollywood movie, and your red Netflix masterpiece with boring faces and ugly girls and pretty sounding men. These people in tribalism, anywhere else in the world, would be at the mercy of the elders they're trying to elect as community leaders now. But, however, in the United States, with socialism and their senators and their Congress, and eventually their presidents, they never miss rent. They never get evicted, and they retire imagining they're living in outer space. And all of those racist white supremacists who still eat meat and have babies the old-fashioned way and not in labs with little sperm shot up into their wives because their dicks are so limp. And their significant other's vagina has no lubricant. They can't fornicate and have normal, healthy sex. And then buy some Viagra to have a disco game board night. And then return to their desk chair, return to their cubicle, return to their up-to-date, architecturally green office, and go back to what they were doing now. These people would not know how to get food other than picking, other than stabbing, and ambushing their source and their prey. In Africa, Australia, the mountains of Idaho, and the desert of Arizona. Their smiles and their nods and their limits and their restrictions and their behavior would potentially cause death to them and anyone they're with in those parts of Earth and the world and civilization now. The tribal leader would look over at the elder. All the mothers would get their babies and they'd start a fire. And there would be a person who runs, there would be a person who begs, but there definitely would not be a person who fights and receives respect from the warriors. Now, the dream of all of these descriptions and examples of the technology and the tribalism society, civilization, world, and the government system making the two not get out of sync has to do with those people in those offices and those folks in front of those devices writing the code for those tribalist folks and people and humans to look at and enjoy, to eventually learn how to be primitive and not get shot by the thug gangster when buying some heroin from their depression and confusion from what they're doing now. They'll eventually come to some sort of agreement with everyone, and there'll be total and complete equality. In other words, all of the strong men and women, all of the weak and the frail and the confused and the sick and the twisted, reach peace, happiness, and utopia. The whole argument, the whole explanation from the technology and the tribalism, the Antifa and the Marxism and the activists and the slogan are breathtakingly dull. Nobody on either side saying words like stimulation and light, mentorship and young people, and definitely not neuroscience and neurology, hard work, dignity and integrity, freedom, especially, and success. The struggle, the death, the dying, the violence, the breaking of the windows and destroying of the businesses, similar to the technology practitioners, are all a part of the process within the system made by all of these different entities, all of these different parts. Much different, they say, than this capitalism, this American flag hanging at the White House. Nobody stops, pauses. Similar to my mom, she's fasting today to get ready for a colonoscopy tomorrow, gross procedure. And so I said right away, you know, Tibetan Buddhism, we did a lot of fasting. You got to really be ready for a pause. Breathing, calm, and then the speed the body has with this hunger and fasting. I'm saying now. Earth, planet with a world on it, gravity, atmosphere, oxygen, plants, animals, humans, buildings, architecture, cities, states, countries, floating, spinning, located in outer space